do this little project. What I need is a latex glove. I have here a black one. It doesn't really matter what color you use, really. I mean, it will affect what kind of markers you use, but I had some white ones and some black ones, and the kids really liked the black ones, so that's what I decided I would use for this as well. Now what we're going to be doing is something called a Zentangle. And Zentangles are all the rage right now. Our teachers using these a lot because it's kind of an art therapy sort of practice. It's a process that allows my kids in particular to kind of relax and meditate. It's kind of like ASMR. It's like it's perfect for ASMR. And what it consists of is dividing your space, whatever it might be, paper or canvas, whatever you're working with. In this case, it's going to be a glove. But dividing that space with some lines into separate little compartments. This is a lot like when you were a kid and you would draw a bunch of squiggly lines on a piece of paper and then go in and color the shapes that the intersecting lines create with different colors. However, in this case, you have to be a little more thoughtful about where you draw your lines, and then also thoughtful about what you're going to fill those spaces with, because we're not going to just color them in solid. We're actually going to fill each space with its own individual pattern or design, using lines or shapes, or you could do like a floral pattern. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do. But the act of drawing those patterns, filling in those spaces, can be a very meditative process. And like I said, my kids really enjoyed it. Plus, it gives them an opportunity to draw in their hand, which is kind of a no-no in my room, without having to worry about making a mess. So let's go ahead and get started here. I think I've talked long enough. So I have here a basically a little paint, or an opaque pigment marker, paint marker, Sharpie, as plain regular, like if you do like a white surgical glove, you could use colored Sharpies. With the black, you really need an opaque paint type marker. they were using this process to do like henna tattoo type patterns, which I'm sure would give you the same kind of relaxing ASMR feel. Now these, I will say that this might be a little tricky to do this quietly. This might require a little audio adjustment because I have pretty large hands, and these were the largest size on these gloves they have, and they're kind of a tight fit. Which is good because it makes it a little bit easier to draw, being that they fit so tight. But I need to hit I'm trying a different angle with my camera. I keep hitting the tripod here, so I'm sorry if it jumps a little bit. Okay. I told you, a tight fit here. But there we go. I think that's good. What you want to start out doing is just kind of randomly, but carefully, because you don't want to just scribble a bunch of lines on here. Maybe kind of like follow the contours of your hand and draw some lines just to kind of start dividing up the space that you're working with. There's no right or wrong way to do this, just like I tell my kids, there's no mistakes. Like that Bob Ross line, there's no mistakes, only happy accidents. I tell my kids that all the time. It's always, oh Mr. Randall, I messed up, I need another piece of paper, or I need an eraser. No, we don't. You just gotta think about what you're doing and just kind of draw what you feel. And you gotta do this kind of lightly. If you press down too hard, the glove tends to kind of bunch up on you. Said if you do this on your own, you'll see the kind of the sensation of kind of slowly and carefully drawing on your hand. a little bit easier when you're not worried about your camera angle, but it'll work. There we go. So for our purposes, I think we're good. So then, you just gotta start filling in these spaces with whatever sort of patterns that you like. You know, you can keep it kind of simple. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll do like a little kind of a zebra type pattern or something here. Just kind of alternate these stripes back and forth. You just keep doing these patterns until you fill up your space. You know, like I said, there's no right or wrong way of doing this. It's just whatever you feel like. Kids liked that tickling sensation of drawing on their hands. It is pretty relaxing. Let's see. Maybe I need to do some other types. Some a little shorter little stripes here. But, you know, just keep going. You don't want to stop or get frustrated. Don't worry about how it looks. You know, just go with the flow. That's what it's all about. But this is also a good project with kids because you always have those kids that's like, oh, I don't know how to draw. I'm not a good artist. I can't do this. You know, there's no way to mess this up. So everybody's going to succeed right off the bat, even those students who tell you that they're no good at art. You know, you give them something like a Zentangle you're going to start with at the beginning of the year. And, you know, they start out the year successful with their first project. And, you know, that sets up a good tone for the rest of the year. That's probably why it's become such a fashionable lesson to do. I want to do more little art lesson videos. You know, school year's almost over, and I'm kind of thinking this summer to spend some time doing some videos on you know, art lessons. Something I've been talking about doing for a while, and I think I'm going to go ahead and do it, not just for the, you know, the viewers, but also it'll kind of help me plan lessons for next year. So as you can tell, you know, this particular lesson, you know, it's not a quick one. So, you know, it's not necessarily one that you would want to do if you just need something quick, like if you have a substitute or something like that. But at the same time, it is very easy. You know, if they don't finish, you know, they can just peel the glove off, and then they're just design is kind of protected inside of that glove for the next time, and the gloves, kind of collapse down flat, so it's easy to store. It doesn't take up a lot of space to store in between classes for this. So I just realized this is the same pattern I started with on my example I did with my students, which I was going to bring to show on this video, just kind of the finished product, but I left it in my classroom. We have a 3-day weekend, and I'm sorry guys, I'm not going back to school to get it. It's actually been kind of a rough week. I need these 3 days just to kind of forget about the stress from this past week. We're full on into testing season, which is why it's been a bit stressful. Because kids, they get crazy when they're doing these tests, particularly when they're done. We traditionally, it's funny, our principal says our data shows that at our school, this last 6 weeks when testing's over, discipline issues start going up. And it's true. So it's been stressful. I've been watching a lot more ASMR videos lately. Ephemeral Rift is one of my favorites. Relaxing ASMR, Bill Max Fox Pax, or Pax Mox, yeah, Max. I can't remember the order. Bill, he's awesome. I love his beard. Calming Escape, Gentle Whispering, Whisper Door. Those are some of the ones that I probably watch more regularly. I can tell I'm getting to a point here where, because of my angle, it's going to be difficult for me to do that side, so I'm going to kind of give that section a break and maybe come over and work on another section here. So what can we do? Let's do I don't know, maybe something with some circles. Maybe a pattern of large and small, little polka dotted line. Remember, there's no such thing as a mistake. I forget which painting it was. I always talk about and show my students when they talk about, oh, I made a mistake. A few years ago, they discovered a Van Gogh painting, because they can x-ray these paintings now, that had another painting underneath that he had painted over. So I said, look, even these old masters, these great, famous, artists, they made mistakes. They kind of goofed, and, as an artist, you gotta learn how to kind of make these things work or cover up your mistakes somehow. Make them part of your picture, cover them up, hide them, because, the only person that's ever going to know it was a mistake is the artist anyways. The viewer, the audience isn't going to really know unless you tell them, and, most artists aren't going to tell them. saying I use in my classroom is make it work. I watch too much my wife and I watch Project Runway all the time. It's a fun show. If this wasn't an ASMR video, I'd do my Michael Kors impersonation. My wife cracks up. But the kids know what I'm talking about. I have a little poster in my room that says make it work. I want to get one that has Tim Gunn's face on it with him saying that. But anyways, man, I don't know if you can hear all of that noise. The wind is really howling out there tonight. So, maybe I'll put something in here. See, that's where, I kind of messed up my line a little bit. I got that double line. Instead of getting rid of it, starting over, I'm just going to make it part of my Zentangle. So, alright guys, I think that's probably good for tonight. This video's at like 25 minutes on. I didn't realize I had been on here this long. But as in the classroom, you run out of time. You can't do the whole thing in one sitting. So we'll come back to it. But, with your kids, if you do this, they can just take the glove off. Might be a little bit easier for them because their hands aren't as big. Alright. There we go. Just take it off and put it off to the side. Eventually, what you'll do with this is take some polyester fluff, fill fluff like you would put in a little stuffed doll, and stuff this so that it stands up, becomes three-dimensional, looks like it has a hand in it. Then we'll use a mason jar lid for the base so it can stand up. And I might work on this a little bit more off camera, and then we'll come back in another video and finish this up. But anyways, I hope you guys give it a try. Maybe doing this on the hand to start with. You might want to do it on paper first. But I don't know. It's fun.